Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie, and it's Advent Tournament Day 5.
Once again, we're featuring two matchups every day throughout the first round of this tournament. First matchup today features our number 9 overall seed, Pikesville Rye, versus the number 24 overall seed, George Dickel Bottled and Bond, the 2020 series.
There's not much to talk about. Let's get rolling.
I really like the nose on glass 1. It's minty, it's a little fruity, maybe a little bit spicy, a little warm too.
Kind of refreshing almost.
Yeah, I thought that's a good way to put it, refreshing.
It's a little bit different than, I don't know if I want to say different than all the ones we've had previously, but just a different nose on this one.
I would say glass 2 is a little sleepy.
Yeah, there's not much here.
Not a ton. There's a nuttiness here. That's what I'm getting on glass 2 is nuttiness.
I'm not getting a ton on this.
I
mean, there's something there, but like, it's so faint.
I would say that glass 1 is probably our higher proof glass, but so I'm going to start with glass 2 just because I want to try whatever's lower proof first to make sure that I can taste it.
I can get on board with that.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
That definitely drinks warmer than its nose would indicate. The peanut / peanut butter sort of thing is what I'm getting on that.
Really oaky, I'm getting on this. And then somehow in that first sip, there was like a fruity flavor to it.
There's a bit of a fruit
which
forward
did not
note there.
come across on the nose at all.
It's pleasant. The finish is a little hot,
Oh,
but
there's that
pleasant.
nuttiness.
You got the nut.
Second sip, got a little bit of nuttiness in there.
Glass 2 to me is pretty subdued, but there's some nice flavors in there. The finish is a little unruly. It's for as smooth as everything was from the nose through the palate, the finish is pretty hot on the back of the tongue, and it doesn't seem like it's a rye spice to me. That seems like barrel spice and just proof heat.
Yeah, so I did 3 little small sips, each sip a little bit different, and it did go, like, it was pretty, like, an interesting flavor. Then I got a lot of nuttiness, and then that third sip was a little lacking on that one for me.
Yeah, it's almost dull.
A little bit.
Like just muted from top to bottom.
Yeah. All right, let's try the first.
Going back to glass 1, here we go. Oh, this smells amazing.
Ooh, I get almost like a licorice, like a black licorice on this one.
Yeah, I would say that.
And I don't know if it was because I had the other one first, but that's different.
It is funny how tasting these side by side wakes up completely different tasting notes.
Oh, that's interesting because like the smell was very minty. I could get a little bit of, I don't know, like a crushed, like if you're gonna make a mojito, like you would crush your mint leaves or whatever, and like that.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
There is definitely spice on glass 1 as well, but it's a different type of spice. I think it's likely rye malt spice. I think that it's more mint than barrel spice. I think it's less of that muted tone. There's brighter flavors all throughout this one. The sort of a fruity, cherry, syrupy note up front. Yeah. The oak is still there, but on the palate, vanilla, caramel, and then that mint in the back end. And I'm interested to see how this one opens up the more we sip it, because I think that it's a higher proof. The longer it sits here, the better it'll get.
What's interesting is neither one of them drink very hot.
Yeah.
So what did you say the proofs were again?
So the Pikesville is 110, and the George Dickel is the Bottle and Bond at 100.
At 100, okay.
Yeah.
Which then I guess it wouldn't drink super hot.
Yeah. 110 is no slouch though.
No. I mean, it's warm. I'm getting a little warmth.
They both have a spice on the back end. I can't imagine that it's proof spice though. I really think that it's rye spice and barrel spice. I'm really enjoying glass 1. I'm gonna go back to glass 2 now and see what else I find in that one.
So if you've been following along over the last couple weeks, we just did a review on this one. We did an all rye challenge. We split our number 1, so you actually liked Pikesville the most. And then earlier this year, we did the 2019-2020 side by side. I think we both agreed we liked the 2019 better.
George Dickel Bottled and Bond is an interesting product because they release a different version of it every year. And I believe they've only been doing it for the last couple of years, but it's almost like a vintage. Bottled and Bond, of course, is distilled by one distiller in a single distillery for a single distillation season. The difference with George Dickel's Bottled and Bond from everybody else is that they'll actually print what season this was. So this is the distilling season of fall 2008, and it was released in 2020. So this had a little over 11 years in the barrel, I believe, and the 2019 spent longer than that in the barrel. And the 2019 is a better product, we think. But it's just interesting that they've created vintages for their bottled and bond product that almost treats it like wine, where different vintages are probably going to be better than others. We prefer the 2019. We don't have much of it left, and you can't find it anymore. So the 2020 made its way into this competition, and we will continue to collect these, if for no other reason than it's cool to do a vertical of different vintages of bourbon. When else do you get to do that?
So what's interesting about the proof on these is that usually like the proof hits you on your first sip, and then you kind of get used to it a little bit more. But glass one actually, now I'm on like my third or fourth sip, maybe more, I don't know. And it's actually drinking a little bit hotter now than it did a couple sips before. Still delicious though. Do you know, are you good?
I think so, yeah. One more note on glass two is that heat is continuing to build on the back end, on the finish, and it's getting a little more bitter as we go, which is almost like a barrel funk to me.
Is that glass two you're talking about?
Yeah, okay. I feel like maybe it was in the barrel long enough for it to sort of impart some of those funkier barrel notes that you get sometimes on whiskeys that have spent a long time in the barrel. So glass two to me is actually sort of getting less pleasant, while glass one is continuing to improve. So do you think that you have a decision?
I do. Neither one of these is a real standout to me. Some of the ones we've tried previously, I think it was almost like a no-brainer, like you knew exactly what you were getting. But for me, I think glass one should move on to the next round.
Yeah, I actually agree completely. I would say glass one, the longer I sip it, the more it opens up. It does get better and better. It strikes me as something to finish a meal with, maybe a after dinner drink or something like that. But the longer it sits here, the better it gets. I love the spearmint note on the back of this one. It's getting a little bit of a chocolate flavor. It's a standout drink to me. I know you're not crazy about either one of these, but you chose glass one, I chose glass one.
Yep. Oh, it's hard to read.
I have no idea what
A.
that is. That's an A?
That's an A.
Okay, looks like an anarchy symbol, so let's see what we got. Pikesville Rye.
All right.
Not surprising.
Yeah, not surprising.
Dickel Tennessee whiskey, and one of the reasons that this isn't called the Bourbon Tournament, it's called the Whiskey Tournament, because it's a Tennessee whiskey, and tastes like Tennessee whiskey. Yep. Peanuts, mild flavors, decent, but nothing to write home about, and it's certainly not going to move anywhere beyond in this competition. I think we made the right choice.
Yep.
And with that decision, Pikesville goes back up on the shelf, and Dickel is relegated down below.
And we'll be back with our second matchup of the day. All right, we're back, and I'm excited.
You always are excited. When there's Old Forester on the table, you are always excited. And this is our wood-finished bourbon for the first bracket. This is overall seed number 8 versus number 25.
And I feel like Old Forester needs a bit of a redemption for me after whatever day it was that I
tanked 1920.
Tanked 1920, which should never... That should have never happened.
Tanked it in favor of a proper, tasty whiskey. Worse things have happened.
True. And we can say this is an honest bracket, because if I was pretending, I would have just moved all of Forester to the finish.
Right. So for this matchup, we've got 93 proof versus 94 proof. This is the first single barrel store pick we've had in the competition. This is a store pick from Bend liquor store called Trailhead Liquors. The thing about store picks is a rep for a distillery goes into the store with samples. The store chooses their favorite, they purchase a barrel, and then they have that packaged up for them. So store picks are a great way to try a single barrel version of some of your favorite whiskeys, and the price,
that's a good price,
at a reasonable price. Exactly. So this is a single barrel Elijah Craig, small batch, usually between 9 to 12 years old. So this is going to be an exciting one because we haven't had a lot of this, and we love Elijah Craig and we love store picks. So let's get into this.
Yay, I'm excited. Also,
oh boy,
we're back to that color differentiation.
Oh my God.
Oh jeez. I got it.
This is ridiculous.
I'm just kidding.
Have to say
that's not nice.
Well,
that's not nice.
Okay, we owe it to both of these whiskeys to try them. So
it's just the bananas and.
If you watched our wood finished challenge video, You already know how we feel about 1910, one of our absolute favorites this year and of all time, really. Yeah.
But
okay, let's get it. Let's
to be fair, the Elijah Craig smells really good as well. So, oh, sorry. I mean, glass number 2 smells really good.
I swear
I don't
we're doing
know.
blind
Wait,
tastings.
they are blind.
I swear these have been completely blind. Today, Julie actually
it feels
poured
like
these.
I'm cheating because
She put them on the table. I mixed them around. Some of them just are so obvious.
Well, it goes back to those first couple rounds, like the first days, the first 2 days. Nothing against whatever, but I mean, this is my number 1 bottle of the year, so I should know. Oh God, if I don't know what it tastes like and smells like, then I have a problem.
The other thing to note here is that the Elijah Craig Small Batch, this is a beautiful thing about single barrels. A single barrel 9 to 12-year-old whiskey, we bought this for $29. Whereas the Old Forester, more like $55. So you're having a moment over here.
If you have not had the 1910,
Get a bottle of 1910. What are you even doing with your life if you're not drinking 1910 at this point?
oh, it's okay.
So
I mean, if that's what it is.
allow me to pay a compliment or two to glass number 2. It is sweet, it is flavorful, there's nice vanilla, there's rye spice, there's oak. The oak is beautiful in this Elijah Craig bottle, and the oak is beautiful in glass too. If it's the Elijah Craig, we believe it is.
Yeah.
They do a great job with their barrels. It's a Heaven Hill product, and they just, everything that Elijah Craig makes, we enjoy. This bottle is just, it's unfortunate for this bottle that it's squared off against one of our favorite bottles this year. It's just the way the seeding worked out.
They don't all have to be really hard. We've had some really tough competitions. We're only on day 5, right?
After the last couple of days, we deserve an easy day.
I deserve a little bit of an easy day. This will be the shortest video ever. Like, I don't even need, I mean, I'm going to keep trying it because you never know. I will say,
Yeah.
no connoisseur. So, you know, I always make pretty quick snap judgments on things. But then the more that I taste them, the more surprised I am.
So glass number 1, chocolate, oak, vanilla, sweetness, dessert in a glass.
Don't forget the caramelized bananas.
And caramelized banana.
Oh,
We
like
could
with
say
a little
caramelized
whipped cream
bananas.
on it.
Oh,
I don't know, I'm just getting crazy
You're
now.
getting some amazing notes from this
We just
glass.
have, yeah.
Well, we should just continue drinking this then. But and glass 2, beautiful flavors in this glass. Really lovely, great for the price, and a single barrel. Are you ready to declare it?
Yeah, I feel a little bit guilty that we're just assuming which one is which, like throughout this video.
Maybe, but then, so
Like, I mean, but I guess people would really know.
yeah, and the other thing that gives the 1910 away, it spends time in a secondary barrel that's been charred to near incineration, gives it a dark color, gives it rich flavors, unbelievable aroma. It's going to be hard to compete for just about any whiskey in this tournament. For me, it's glass number 1.
Yeah, I had another sip of glass number 2, and I do think it's getting a little bit better the more that you drink it. But it, you know, it doesn't. I'm not gonna say it doesn't hold a candle to it, but it, like, literally.
Yeah, it's a
glass number 1 is by far the.
Absolutely, yeah.
More
Glass 1 for
delicious
me,
drink.
glass 1 for you. Glass 1 is, that looks like a B.
It does.
Okay.
Wow, I did a
Just
really,
double check.
I did a really bad
Okay, I've got
job.
an anarchy
Yeah,
symbol on this one, so it must be B. And B was Old Forester 1910, the Whiskey Row series. Moving on. One thing I do want to say about this bottle right here is that it's a well done store pick. If you have a store that you trust their store picks, then you have a go-to. When they get more store picks, you know you're going to get something you like. This is one of those bottles. We really, really enjoyed it. We think it's a great pick, and we'll get future bottles from them without even thinking about it.
And we've got an Elijah Craig already moving forward, so we're good.
Yeah, there's Elijah Craig on the board, no problem. So this one takes a seat, which is cool because
Hey, we're back to 2 for 2 today.
we can't get another one of these, so I've been holding off on drinking it because I was worried we'd run out if we had to let it go in the tournament. So yeah, two for 2 today. This one moves down, 1910, back up on the shelf. We're very happy about this one.
Better be on the shelf.
Better be on the shelf.
If you haven't tried it, without it even moving forward in the competition, go get it. It's delicious.
Absolutely. And if you haven't seen our wood finished whiskey video, go check that out, see just how this one compares to some of its similar counterparts, and we will be back tomorrow for day 6.
Yeah, today was a quick one.
Moving right along
So from wherever we are,
to wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers.